Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Lessons for Life from Swami Jagdatmanandaji's inspiring bestseller Learn to Live, Volume 2, Chapter 1. Give up worries and anxieties. Now we will be discussing the remaining part of the episode. Shraddha, our supreme faith, is the remedy. Swami Vivekananda addressed the following warning to those who were captivated by the scientific development of the West and wanted to ape the Western ideal at the beginning of the century. Swamiji said, "It is true that people who are socially and financially backward need opportunities and privileges to some extent for enjoying material comforts. A man naturally acquires the virtue of selflessness when he has lived a fairly good life. Perhaps here we can learn a few lessons from the Westerners. But we have to be extremely cautious. Most people who claim to have understood the ideals of the glamorous West have done more harm to our society than good. Most people who claim to have understood the ideals of the glamorous West have done more harm to our society than good. This we must admit with some regret. Scientific ideas, scientific temperament, the ways of making better use of things, the area of collective, organized work, teamwork. These things we can learn from the Westerners. But if anybody said that eating, drinking, dancing, in other words, gratification of the senses is the only aim of life, he is a liar. Western technology and Western civilization may be quite glaringly impressive, but such a life is in vain. Never give up the spiritual mission. That is the only everlasting thing on this earth. That is the only everlasting thing on this earth. It does not mean that other matters like political and social issues are not required, but they do not deserve the prime attention. They are not the focus of our concern. Dharma, or spirituality, righteousness, is all in all for Indians. If that is destroyed, our country as a whole will be destroyed. Swamiji says, "You may pour all the treasures of mammon, Kubera, on every man. You may implement any social reform. You may achieve any political revolution. But without spiritual life, India will not survive." It is wrong to believe that only the religious leaders in India proclaim the ideal of dharma, of spiritual life. Arnold Toynbee, the great British historian, who made an analysis of the history of the whole world, said the same thing. What led to the deterioration of all civilizations was the excessive interest in political and economic issues, the subordination of all other higher ideals of life to them. What began as an attack on religious fanaticism has now extinguished the spiritual fire itself. This deterioration began in the 17th century, took roots in the 20th century, and has now spread to all parts of the great Western community. Slowly they are becoming aware of its danger. There is a danger not only to the spiritual health of the Western society, but also to its physical existence. In fact, people are realizing that this anti-religious attitude can be more fatal than any terrible political or financial upheaval. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.